How to feel full, the story of leptin. Leptin is often called the fullness hormone, the body's natural signal that you've had enough to eat. But in today's world of constant food and chronic stress, that message can get scrambled. In a moment, we'll give you some practical tips on supporting proper leptin levels in your body. But first, we're going to touch on what leptin does and why it sometimes fails. We'll look at its normal role in managing appetite and what happens when your body starts ignoring it. No hype or miracle pills here, this is science you can actually use. Leptin 101. Okay, now let's get into today's topic. So, leptin is one of your body's built-in eating controls. We talked about the other one, ghrelin, in a prior video. Link up top. Now before we can talk about managing it, we need to understand what it actually does. This hormone plays a central role in appetite and energy use, but that's just the surface. Underneath there's a different story, one shaped by survival, not modern life. In this segment, we'll break down how leptin works inside the body, what it was built to do, and why that may be the reason it's failing us now. Let's find out more. First, let's point out that leptin is only one of several fullness hormones. Others include GLP-1 and PYY, which we'll cover in future episodes. The distinction is that leptin is more of a long-term hormone, while those others are more short-term. Now, let's learn what leptin actually is. This review in metabolism breaks down how leptin works as a signal between your fat cells and your brain. It's a hormone that's released by fat tissue and travels to the brain's hunger control center. When leptin rises, it tells the brain that energy stores are full, so appetite drops and calorie burn increases. But leptin isn't just about food. The same review showed it helped regulate fertility, thyroid hormones, and even immune responses. In low leptin states like starvation, the body pulls back on all of those functions to save energy. Second, leptin's evolutionary role in survival. Leptin's job makes sense when you look at where it came from. According to this study in Nature, the body doesn't wait for major fat loss before reacting to starvation. Often just a short fast causes leptin to fall sharply, and that drop sets off a chain reaction. Hunger goes up and the whole system shifts into energy-saving mode. This quick response suggests that the leptin system evolved not to manage excess, but to survive shortage. It's a famine alarm, not a fullness switch. That's why in today's world of constant food, it often works against us. Quick favor, if you find this information helpful, please hit that like button. It's a small click, but it would really help us grow. When leptin stops working. So, leptin resistance is when the brain stops responding to the hormone, even though blood levels remain high. Many people actually have high leptin, but the brain doesn't respond like it should. This is common in obesity and one of the biggest roadblocks to weight loss. Instead of calming hunger, leptin's signals get lost in translation, keeping appetite elevated and energy burn suppressed. Let's learn more. First, inflammation's role. Leptin resistance doesn't always start with fat gain. According to this study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation, inflammation in the brain's hunger control center can show up early, even before major weight gain. Inflammatory and stress signals block leptin's ability to suppress hunger or raise energy burn. The system still has leptin, but the brain can't see it. This inflammatory rewiring helps explain why some people struggle with weight before obvious signs of obesity show up. Fixing leptin resistance means dealing with this hidden inflammation at the source. We'll talk about how to do that in a bit. And second, let's consider lifestyle drivers of leptin resistance. Leptin resistance doesn't just happen after weight gain. It can start early, triggered by diet. High fat and high carb meals, especially those rich in sugar, not only raise leptin levels, but also block the brain from responding. This study in diabetes also showed that triglycerides can physically stop leptin from crossing into the brain. Another, from Advances in Nutrition, found that sugar also scrambles the signal inside brain cells by triggering inflammation, stress, and chemical blockers. Together, these disruptions break the hunger signal. So the body's energy tank is full, but the brain never gets the message. Appetite stays high, fat keeps storing. And let's establish one more thing. Lowering leptin levels can actually help. We've established that high levels of leptin in people with low sensitivity do no good. So the good news is that leptin resistance isn't always permanent. According to this review in Frontiers of Endocrinology, calorie restriction, among other things, can lower leptin levels, and that drop may help restore the brain's response to it. This resistance reversal improves appetite control and weight regulation. So the fix isn't always about boosting leptin, it's about making the system listen again. And lowering leptin itself is a way to do this. This is counterintuitive but proven to work. By the way, if you're enjoying this and want more, check out our newsletter. Each month we'll send you quick takeaways from past episodes, answers to common questions, drug updates in between videos, and a fresh myth bust, straight to your inbox, once a month, no spam. Subscribe now, links in the description. Supporting leptin sensitivity. So we just talked about how leptin resistance can be restored. Now let's learn the steps. Through some common, actionable items, you can take back control of your own hunger hormones. Let's get into those right now. First, improve diet quality. We talked earlier about reducing calories along with cutting high fat and high sugar. That's a start. We're going to add to this cutting ultra-processed foods. This article shows how women who ate more minimally processed foods like vegetables, grains, and fish had lower leptin levels relative to body fat, meaning better leptin sensitivity. The opposite was true for ultra-processed food eaters. So if your goal is to fix your fullness signal, the path isn't more food or more leptin. It's fewer additives, better ingredients, and cutting calories every now and then. Second, increase physical activity. Exercise supports the systems that control leptin. According to this review in JCM, regular training often leads to lower leptin, especially when it helps reduce fat or calorie intake. Both cardio and strength workouts helped. While the paper stops short of saying that exercise directly improves leptin sensitivity, it's clear that physical activity plays a key role. It improves how your body handles energy, and over time that makes hormones like leptin work better. So even if leptin doesn't shift right away, exercise moves the system in the right direction. Third, sleep. This one isn't about fixing resistance, it's about preventing it. A study in PLOS Medicine found that sleeping less than 8 hours a night can significantly lower leptin. Dropping from 8 hours to 5 hours resulted in a 15% drop, even without weight change. That sets off a false starvation signal, making you feel hungry when you're not. Now, you might ask, if lower leptin resets tolerance, wouldn't less sleep actually help? Nope. The goal is stable levels over time, not day-to-day swings that encourage overeating. The fix? Consistent sleep, 7 to 8 hours a night. We actually did a full video on sleep with even more helpful tips. You should watch that one too, link up top. And finally, a myth bust about leptin supplements. They don't actually work. This is covered in an article from WebMD. First of all, leptin supplements don't actually contain any leptin. They usually contain a cocktail of anti-inflammatory compounds. Compounds, by the way, which won't really be effective if you're not eating right in the first place. If you do find a supplement that claims to contain leptin, understand that as a hormone it would be broken down in the stomach and not make it to your brain in any meaningful way. As we've established, and as reiterated by this article by Vinmec Healthcare, obesity is driven more by leptin resistance than a deficiency. So even if there was a supplement that worked, your body would likely not be affected anyway. And people with leptin deficiency are extremely rare, on the order of about 100 people in the world. We'll put these links in the description if you want to know more. This article on Medical Express might sound strange, but it's true. A new study found that doing the opposite things to the same brain receptor can lead to weight loss. In the study, when scientists turned the GIP receptor on, mice ate less. And when they turned it off, mice still ate less. But here's the catch. It works in totally different ways. Turning it on used brain cells that release GABA, a calming signal that also lowers hunger. Turning it off didn't use that path at all. Instead, it relied on the GLP-1 system, the pathway already used in popular weight loss drugs. This study used mice, but advanced brain mapping tools to track how these signals move. It shows that GIP might be more useful in treating obesity than we thought. By the way, one of these GIP paths is used in Mounjaro and Zepbound. Right now, the safest tools for you are still GLP-1 meds like Zepbound, smart food choices, and daily movement. But this GIP research could lead to new options for controlling the other pathway, which might be more helpful for people who don't respond to the current drugs. Full link in the description. And here's a meme we think you'll enjoy. Have an idea for a future meme? We'd love to hear from you in the comments. If we use your idea, we'll give you a shout out in the description. Leptin is your fullness hormone, meant to keep you alive in hard times, not slim in modern times. We saw how its feedback loop should suppress hunger, but inflammation and lifestyle factors can often block that message. The good news? Improving diet quality, getting exercise and good sleep, and lowering inflammation all help restore leptin sensitivity. And no, supplements won't do the trick. Well, that's the show for today. If this kind of content interests you, hit that subscribe button because I'll be diving into the latest trends, drug updates, and expert insights every week. Have a topic you'd like covered? Let us know in the comments. And a quick reminder, I'm not a doctor. You should always talk to your own doctor before making changes to your diet or medications. Now, if you like this topic, you may be interested in this other video on what you can do about ghrelin, the hunger hormone, to optimize your hormones and make weight loss easier. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.